Hello, everyone. I welcome you to another series of Next Step Forward. Next Step Forward is a series I have designed with an intent to assist you with simple yet powerful solutions that will help you progress in your job, role, and career. This series aims to address some of the most common queries and scenarios through tips, techniques, and solutions, which will then help you progress in your professional life. In our today's session, I would like to talk about a scenario where one may find an individual, oneself, with let's say 11 plus years of work experience and may have now come back to their country, uh, meaning that they may have had worked for the past 11 years in a different country, had worked in several roles, and had really contributed well, but now back into their own country, having spent a decade outside working and earning. Now the person finds themselves to be a bit confused because they just don't know where they need to start again. A, because the country is it's almost been a decade now, and also with their experience and expertise and the authority and high senior levels that they have enjoyed, maybe sometimes people are not fully aware of the job market in their own countries. So this might put somebody into a situation where they are completely confused and perplexed as to what they should be taking up. In our today's session, I would actually like to address this scenario with 3 steps forward that I would share, and these are like the few things that you could do if you find yourself very confused with what you need to do next. Let's start. The first thing or the next step forward that you can take when you find yourself in a similar situation, or you find somebody into it, is to basically list down your entire past experience. So I always suggest, and I always say, and I would repeat, get a pen and a paper, write down your entire more than a decade year of work experience using a pen. There's a science to when we write and when we type. So write it down and then evaluate this entire experience of 10 plus years or 11 plus years and see which area is you have worked in the with the highest tenure. For example, somebody into administration function or operations or human resource may have had worked in different functions for a certain period of time. So if I'm just giving an example, you can use your own discretion whenever you're doing this particular thing. So you've written your entire experience, and that from that experience now you're trying to find out the longest tenure or the time period you have spent in one particular domain. It can be operations, it can be administration, it can be anything. So what you need to do is, from your total experience, figure out the longest tenure. That's one. Second, more than the tenure, the second one is more crucial. Can you make out in this 10 years which was that job or that role or that function which you really enjoyed the most working in there? You found yourself to be highly engaged as an employee while you were working in that particular domain. We all have such highs and valleys and peaks in our career. Sometimes we do happen to join amazing teams, amazing people, amazing connections, and we also have the opportunity to do amazing work. But it's not necessarily that we may always have that. Some part of our career may also be filled with certain work which we may have never liked, but we had to somehow. So what you are doing here is, from your entire work experience, trying to pull out the work, the domain. It may not necessarily be something that you did for the very long time, but this has to be something where you felt you were very, very engaged. You really enjoyed your work and you enjoyed the people around you. It brought the best out in you. So make a note of that. Then the third thing you can do here is uh, keeping this two things, you will find a lot of insights. Now you create a goal. So basis on what you found, you will this these two answers to these two questions: where did I work the longest, and then what did I enjoy the most? These two will give you enough insights, basis on which you can now think, okay, if I were to go with have done the longest or the job that I have enjoyed the most, I now need to create a goal, a career goal, basis on which I will then create my approach and how will I pursue or look for a job in my country which I have come back after 10 years or 11 years. This will help you, giving you a direction. Sometimes after 11 years of working abroad, we may have had earned so much that you would be basically looking for something that gives you fulfillment or just just some money, but you're more interested in some meaningful work. Other times it may be a different scenario. Each one of us have a unique life experiences, so it doesn't hold true for everyone. For some, it could be that they really want to now get into a role which is more of authority, more of power, more of making decisions, a leadership role, and that is because of their, using their international experience. So each to his own, but these two questions will give you an answer to how you can create a goal. And this is full for anyone who find themselves very confused as to where to even start. So this can be your starting point. Finally, the third step forward you could do is understand that our career are our source of livelihood for most of us. And yes, we also would want to derive meaning and purpose out of it, but not everyone is fortunate enough to do so. So when you are in a situation where you think, okay, what should I do next? I just don't know where to start. You need to keep this important factor in mind, that whatever you do is tied up larger goal which can also have an influence on your personal life. So by this I mean, for example, some people may have their children by now grown up and uh, into their respective universities or colleges, and they just with their spouse, uh, dependents or any major responsibilities. But for some it could be that they do have, and for some it could be that they just want to now relax. They have had worked enough and they just want to have a more flexible and easy job which is less taxing on your mind, on your physical body, and spend more quality time with your spouse or your partner. So each to his own, but these are those factors and those major areas of life that can actually help you pursue a career goal, because this is where it all stems from. Whether you want to take up a job which gives you more responsibility and money, and but will also keep you busy, you may need to travel, you may need to take up a lot of work, or if you want to spend a lot of time with your family, with yourself and with your spouse or your partner, you have done enough, so you may want to take up something which is way more easy, but may not really have too much of monetary benefits in it, or even power or authority in it. So friends, if you, in case you find yourself in a situation where you have, having spent considerable amount of time, have reached a point where you don't know where to start next, this is some of the points that you can factor in, and basis of which create a career goal that you may want to pursue. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.